Hey guys, welcome to a new astrology video. I'm Larissa and today we're going to be talking about career astrology. It is a topic that I'm very passionate about, but it is also a topic that I have been getting more deeper within as the years have been passing. So initially, obviously, I was learning about the foundational parts of a chart when it comes to career. But after you go beyond the foundation, what is actually there? What is to be said when it comes to career astrology? What is career astrology actually all about? So today we're going to be talking about that. So let's get started. I also haven't done a proper career astrology workshop ever since my first ever workshop in 2023. So this is why right now I'm coming up with an updated version of a career workshop and I'm so excited to share with you. The workshop comes out on March 9th, and if you're watching this, it might already be out or maybe not. You can either sign up to the waitlist in bio if it's not out yet, or you can directly join the workshop if it's after March 9th that you're watching this. So what I don't really like about career astrology information out there right now is that it is very generalized. I feel that career astrology is treated as though, there's this one and only one thing that can show you your whole career. But in reality, we all have maybe the same placement, but we don't have the same career. And the reason is because there are so many other layers and nuances when it comes to career astrology. And these are obviously seen best in an astrology reading, but I'm trying my best to provide the nuances in a way that everyone can apply them and understand them within their chart. And that's what I'm doing within the workshop. So basically I'm taking whatever I'm doing in a personalized astrology reading and I'm turning it into a workshop that more people can join and learn from. Also, these truths are based on my personal experience when it comes to astrology readings and having clients, but also based on my personal experience when it comes to building a business and switching my career paths. Those of you who don't know, I used to be doing advertising before this. So I studied my bachelor's for advertising as well as my master's abroad in Poland. And I thought advertising was going to be it. I thought I found my career from the get-go and I was really happy about that and really oblivious to what was going to come up next. But then what happened is that I found my passion and naturally my passion turned into my career. I really love to share with you what I've learned along the process. Truth number one, your MC or 10th house doesn't show the exact career path you will likely be doing. It shows why you're likely to leave behind. Why is this true? First of all, as I said, everyone can have a Libra MC, but not everyone that has their MC in Libra has the same job or has the same career. However, the MC shows the way that they need to approach their career, right? So maybe I'm an astrologer and there's another astrologer. Maybe we have different MC signs. My MC is in Libra, which means that when it comes to astrology, I need to have an outlook of it that is balanced. I need to share astrology in an aesthetic way, which is what I do. And I need to have more of a kind persona, more of a persona that is focused on fairness and that's focused on equality and that's focused on all of that sweet Libra energy. And that's how I'm being seen by the world, right? And likely that's also what I'm going to be known for and that's also what I'm going to be leaving behind. But maybe there's another astrologer out there that has let's say they have a Pisces MC. Maybe their type of sharing their astrology needs to be a little bit more a little bit more mystical. Maybe it needs to be a little bit more ambiguous. Maybe it needs to focus more on witchcraft maybe needs to have more of that Pisces vibe. That doesn't mean that we need to exclude our MC sign. Our MC sign and the planets we have in a 10th house are super crucial for our career expression, but they don't necessarily show the exact career that you're going to be doing, but it does mean that that is the way you need to approach your career. So your 10th house shows you more the way you approach your career and the way that others see you through approaching the career that way, but not necessarily the career itself. If you want to go deeper, obviously, looking at the ruler of your MC and looking at which house that's in can actually show you more insights into the career you're likely to be doing, rather than just looking at the sign that it's in or the planets that you have there. So for example, I am a Libra MC. The ruler of my MC is Venus, because Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is in my first house, right? So this alone tells me that I need to be a business owner. This alone tells me that I can rely on myself, which means that I need to work with myself, by myself, as a freelancer. And that is a really good indicator of the kind of career that I need to be doing. Whereas maybe if the ruler of my MC was in the 7th house, then definitely I would say that that person needs to likely build a career together with someone, or have a career that is focused on collaboration much more than working by themselves. Upcoming workshop, I'm going to be interpreting all of the rulers to the MC sign, as well as show you how to exactly check what your career actually is. Truth number 2, career astrology has endless possibilities. You just are the one who gets to choose which one you want to try. So I feel like this is something that is not talked about enough, but our charts are so complex that we could be doing multiple things, right? It's not realistic to think that there's just one career path that fits us, because in reality, I've done advertising before. I'm an astrologer right now. Maybe in the future, I'm going to be doing something else. Who knows? At the same time, I could be doing a lot of other career paths based on the things that I'm good at, right? For example, I have graphic design skills. I could always choose to be a graphic designer, right? And all of these are actually shown within my chart, but I feel that everyone focuses on, oh my God, identify your one dream career path and your life is going to be perfect. And you're just going to, have the best time of your life and all of your problems are going to be solved, which is not true, because a job, first of all, doesn't solve your problems. And also, a lot of the times, a job is not actually your purpose, which is another thing that a lot of people are mistaken. One misconception, for example, when a client comes to me for a reading, is that they think I'm just going to tell them, you have to be an architect. Like, go right now and do this and be an architect. That is your path in life. That is your purpose. You're going to feel so good doing that, and so on. Do you really think that if I tell someone that, maybe someone who's never had experience in architecture, they would actually go and do that thing? Likely not, especially if it doesn't feel realistic for them, especially if it doesn't feel like it's something that they ever thought about. Just because me as an astrologer, just because I'm telling them you are meant to be an architect, right? But in a personalized reading, I'm actually like, okay, let's see based on the energy of your whole chart, what you would actually be fit for. And I actually give people possibilities. And I actually give them 5 to 10 options of careers that they can start to explore on their own, and they can actually do something with that. And that is because we have so many layers in a chart that there's not just one career that is the ultimate career for us. I don't look at myself as like my ultimate career is being an astrologer, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 10 years from now. Like, even though I love astrology right now and I still feel like it is my path, I don't think that I'm going to be doing this forever, to be honest. So who knows what other career paths are waiting there for me. They're all shown within my chart, but the time when I'm choosing to step into them might be different, right? So it's all about understanding that it's not like there's just one career path that works for you, and stop romanticizing that path, because no matter which path you choose, you still are the one who has to take action on it. You still have to put in the work. Even if you find a career that you're passionate about and that you dream of, you still need to work. You know what I mean? Truth number 3, your job is not the same as your career. in astrology, there is this distinction between the second house and the 10th house, right? They are different signs. They have to do with different things. The second house has to do with the way that we earn money and what basically we get paid for. So our income. So if we think about it that way, our second house is our job. It's literally what we do in order to get money. But the 10th house is our career. And a lot of the times people think that their career is the same as having a job. But in reality, career and job are two different words. A job is when you get to work and you get paid. A job is being an astrologer, actually. This is a job, But a career is something that gets built in time. So this is why a lot of people struggle, because they try to build their career in 1 year and then they're like, I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing. Well, a career is when you think long term, when you try to reach a goal that is to be reached in the next 5 years, not in the next 5 months. And a lot of the times people get stuck on a job that they don't like and they just repeat the loop without thinking, how can I build that within a career? Because maybe there's no way for them to advance. Maybe this is not the right job for them that helps them elevate and be built into a career. So I like to look at the second house as what you're getting paid for. So I think that a lot of people, what they actually want is to know their second house, not their 10th house. And the 10th house is actually how you get to take this base thing where you're getting paid for and elevate it. I'll give you an example. My second house is in Aquarius. I associate Aquarius energy with astrology. So I literally get paid to be an astrologer. Like that's what I'm making money for. But if I really want to turn my astrology job into an actual career, I need to look more on my 10th house. And my 10th house is in Libra. It has to do with fairness. I need to speak up more on what I believe in. It has to do with balance. I need to find a work-life balance within this job of being an astrologer. Maybe I need to collaborate more, do collabs, do brand deals, appear on podcasts. Libra also has to do a lot with sharing what you're speaking about. So I need to teach more, okay? So those are ways in which I can ensure that my job as an astrologer actually gets turned into something that is long-term, something that is going to last, but also something that I'm going to be known for in the future. So do you understand the difference between how the second house is actually what you might be looking for when you're asking what job should I do, whereas the 10th house is like how you get the job that you already have and you elevate that, but it doesn't necessarily show like the job itself, okay? Truth number 4, your career is actually shown within what you're actually good at. What I mean by that is that everyone is asking themselves, what is the best career path that I need to follow? But no one is actually stopping to ask themselves, what do I enjoy doing? What am I good at? What skills have I cultivated until right now? Or what skills can I cultivate in the future that might be hinting to a specific career path? Everyone just wants the career, but no one focuses on their skills, their talents, and what they actually enjoy doing. Now, in astrology, what you enjoy doing and what you're good at is literally your whole birth chart, okay? So when someone comes in for a reading, I like to take a look at where they have most planets in which houses. Those houses are likely the things that they're good at, and in which signs they have most of their planets, or what is the combination of signs that they have. And that is the career path that I'm actually suggesting, because that is the one that feels most aligned to this person. That is a career path that actually feels like it is happening naturally, and like they don't need to, try to learn a skill that they don't resonate with, that they're not good at, and try to force themselves to be something they're not just to build a career path. After you identify what you're good at, only then you can identify your career. I think this takes a specific level of learning and understanding astrology associations to understand what signs are associated to what skills and what career that actually shows, right? So for example, I have a Capricorn and Aquarius stellium. That is like my main theme within the chart. I always look at people with Aquarius placements as being possibly good astrologers, but my second house is still in Aquarius, right? So what that's telling me is that the astrology energy is there. I have an Aquarius stellium. I'm good at astrology. So then I could totally be an astrologer. What kind of astrologer? A freelance astrologer, someone who has their own business, because I also have a Capricorn stellium. Capricorn is all about organizing. Capricorn is all about systems. Capricorn is all about really being able to put in the effort and stay consistent. So those two really work nicely for me. Now, I also have a Libra Mars in my ninth house, which is super interesting because astrocartography is something that I've been getting into in the past years, and everything that I put up when it comes to astrocartography has been working really well for me. This also tells me that I can work from abroad, and that's what I'm doing. I can travel and work from anywhere because my Mars is in Libra in my ninth house of travel. I also have a North Node conjunct this Mars sign in Virgo within my ninth house. The ninth house has to do with teaching. I have recently started to teach and I have found it very fulfilling. So that is how I'm also lurking a little bit of purpose there, right? By looking at my North Node and by understanding that overall, looking at my chart, the current career that I'm in right now really fits my energy. There are multiple career paths that I could take though. You know, the associations with Aquarius. Aquarius has a lot to do with technology, with design, with innovation. So these are paths that I could always just change my mind and go towards. It has to do with building communities. Truth number 5, your transits are more important than your chart themselves when it comes to career. The reason I'm saying that is because transits are actually the ones that are shaping our life when it comes to the long term. So our birth chart is basically what we're good at, what our talents are, and so on. We can understand the overall energy of them by looking, we can understand the overall energy by looking at our chart. But when a planet is in transit, it activates different sides of ourselves, right? Because maybe I'm someone who normally doesn't have planets in my 10th house, but maybe I'm having a Saturn in my 10th house transit. A Saturn 10th house transit lasts for about 2.5 to 3 years. So you don't think that my career is going to be shaped a lot by that transit? Obviously, it's going to be shaped a lot by it. So it also depends on key moments. There are moments when you're going to have more of a tough time in your career, and there are moments when you're going to find it easier. And there are also moments when you're likely to find your ideal career path or your purpose when it comes to your career path based on the transits, such as like North Node transit in your 10th house and so on. However, transits are not the one that get the work done. So action is also really important. And this is why also within my upcoming workshop, I talk about your Mars sign, because your Mars sign is actually the one that shows you how you need to take action, and combined with the transits when you need to take action. So understanding transits, it's actually like, when you know opportunities before they're about to happen, so you need to take advantage of them. So for example, let's say I know that I have a Jupiter 10th house transit coming up in the next 2 years. Then I know that until the next 2 years, I need to really make sure that I have built a sense of understanding my career, so that in 2 years from now, this Jupiter is gonna help me expand my blessings and give me a lot of opportunities. Maybe I know that in 2 years from now, I have a Saturn return transit, for example, right? Usually Saturn returns are times when we really get serious about something. So around our Saturn return, we are likely to experience career changes, but before your Saturn return, it's a great time to experiment. And I think that's why, like, in your 20s, you shouldn't expect yourself to have your career figured out. And I think that's like one thing that everyone is getting so like, I need to figure out my career and so on. Well, you are before your Saturn return, so you don't know how that's going to change after. You might actually, your Saturn return might happen and you might completely change your mind about your career path. And your Saturn return is actually the one that's helping you build something. So definitely do not put pressure on yourself if you're before your first ever Saturn return, because your Saturn return is going to do things to help you to build something. So if you struggle with consistency, that's the time when you do get consistent. So until then, just enjoy life. Just try to understand what you enjoy doing overall, and you're fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to have you in the workshop. I haven't done a workshop, I think, in almost a year. I used to do like a lot of workshops, and I've done over like 8 workshops, and now I've gotten to a point where I took a little bit of a break from it, and I'm ready to dive back into workshops. So this is going to be very valuable because it has a lot of knowledge that I've actually never shared in here. I've only shared it, and I only share it in my one-on-one astrology readings. You can either put yourself on a waiting list if it's not March 9th yet, or maybe it's March 9th and you can already sign up for it. You get access to the live call as well as the presentation forever, and also the recorded version of the call. See you there.